Okay, this is gonna be a long video. I'm just warning you right now. So this video is called Frankenstein dressing. I eat a lot of salad and it's easy to get bored. But salad is a fantastic lunch if you're trying to go low carb. And trust me, after a year of salads, losing 50 pounds, I ate a lot of salad. So my friend Kimmy jokes that nobody has as many condiments as I have. I'm literally staring at a table full of condiments and you're gonna see me pull them all up. So basically, when you eat a lot of salad, you need to have a lot of varieties of dressing. You might have some that are your go-tos in the beginning. Some of my favorite go-tos are Bolthouse Cilantro Avocado, Bolthouse Creamy Garlic Caesar. I love Primal Kitchen's Thousand Island. It's great for making a, what I call it, it's like a cheeseburger salad. So you basically put all the ingredients of a cheeseburger except the bun in a bowl, and that's a salad. I love Kewpie's Deep Roasted Sesame. That one's pretty good. And then also Galeo's Miso and Chia seed sesame seed dressing. These are kind of like my 5 go-to dressings. But after about 3 months of salads almost every day for lunch, I started to get really bored. So I started to mix things up together. I would mix chipotle peppers in adobo. You take these, you puree them, you keep it in a jar in your fridge, and I would add just a spoonful of that to my cilantro avocado, and it would make it kind of like spicy and chipotle or smoky. I would add it to my Caesar and make it like a smoky, garlicky Caesar. Add a little bit of extra garlic to the Caesar or garlic powder. This can turn anything into like chipotle flavor. You can also add things like green chilies to kind of spice it up a little bit. I like to puree green chilies with pickled jalapenos and add a little bit of scoop of that to a dressing to kind of like kick it up a notch. So that's kind of the basics, is like you start with your regular dressings and then you start to Frankenstein them. You start to mix the dressings. You're like, ooh, cilantro avocado Caesar, that sounds good. Let's try that. Ooh, Thousand Island Ranch, let's try that. I'm not a huge ranch fan. I actually use ranch more like the powder as a seasoning on grilled chicken than I do make a dressing out of it, but people do like it. That's kind of how Buffalo Ranch started. Like somebody just added wing sauce to regular ranch sauce. And even though this has calories, it's Noble Made medium buffalo sauce. Frank's hot sauce has no calories. So if you want to change up your game, try Buffalo Caesar, try Buffalo Cilantro Avocado. Try what you like and experiment. So here's my basic recipe for salad dressing is a tablespoon of oil, 2 tablespoons of any kind of acid, which is gonna be like lemon juice, lime juice, champagne vinegar, red wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, any kind of vinegar or juice, a pea-sized bit of mustard, and that can be whole grain mustard, it can be regular mustard, it can be Dijon mustard. It's going to change the flavor of your dressing depending on what you use and what you have in your fridge. And then, so a pea size of mustard, a pea size of garlic paste, and then a tablespoon of chopped shallot. If you don't have chopped shallot, you can use chopped red onion. It just adds a little bit of a nice flavor. And then a couple of grinds of salt and pepper, and that's a dressing. If you want that dressing to be a little bit sweeter, I like agave 5, which is only 5 calories. It's not agave syrup. Agave syrup is sugar, so use it very, very sparingly, if at all. Try using like a stevia sweetener instead, or like sugar-free maple syrup. That's an option if you really, really need sweetness. I prefer using flavored vinegars as opposed to adding sweetener to a dressing. So apple cider vinegar is a little bit sweeter than a regular vinegar. Unseasoned rice vinegar is a little sweeter. There's also California citrus champagne vinegar. I told you I have a lot of condiments. I have a lot. There's also fig vinegar, which is good. It's kind of like a fig balsamic. You can get a pear balsamic. And then the standard French dressing is usually red wine vinegar. You can try white wine vinegar if you like. If you're using an acid, you can also try maybe half vinegar and half lemon juice or lime juice. That's also tasty. If you look on my YouTube channel, I have a video for the XPT inspired salad. Sometimes I use half lime juice and half rice wine vinegar in that dressing, just to change things up a little. So those are kind of like level 1 is try mixing your dressings, Frankenstein dressing. Level 2 is try to add things to the dressings that you already have after you've mixed them up. Step 3 is make your own dressing using this recipe: oil, acid, mustard, garlic. You can swap out ginger for garlic if you like. But the idea is that you have some kind of savory flavor in there. Now, the next level after that is, I say, adding different spices to a dressing you've already made. There's all kinds of different spices. You can also add spices to pre-made dressing. I like to add this Cuban island spice to the Bolthouse Caesar, and then it just kind of kicks it up a notch. It makes it like a little Caribbean kind of. I can make a salad with corn or black beans or mango, and change it up a little. It's very nice. You can add gochujang flakes, which are Korean. If you want to have like a Korean barbecue, you want to put some kimchi in your salad. It sounds gross to you right now, but when you get in the habit of eating vegetables, you want to eat all the vegetables. It's kind of like being in the habit of eating cookies. You want to eat all the cookies. You're like, oh, there's a cookie I haven't heard of. What? Cacao nib chocolate oat? Peanut butter? I have to try that. You find that as you build these muscles for eating healthy, you have the same inclination when it comes to vegetables, when it comes to salad. Leave me a comment if after a year of being on this diet, you have 1,000 condiments in your cabinets and in your fridge, because that's what happened to me. Although in truth, I was kind of like that like before. I like Oakland Dust. You can add this to ranch. This is from the Oakland Dust Spice Company. You can go to oaklanddust.com. Don't get a kickback. I just really, really like this. This is their fish seasoning. And sometimes I will use my fry sauce, add a little bit of this, and a little bit of chopped shallot or red onion or even white onion, and dill pickle relish. When you use pickle relish, which is another thing I'll get to, you always want to use dill because it doesn't have sugar in it. So another couple of spices that I use are Lodo Red Adobo and the Peruvian Chili Lime Seasoning, both from Savory Spice Shop. If I want an Italian dressing, like maybe I'm making a caprese salad, I really like this pizza seasoning that you can get from Cost Plus. It's really great. And then if you just want to have something that's kind of like sweet, I like using either the pear balsamic or the citrus champagne vinegar. I'll add a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of poppy seeds just to give it that poppy seed dressing flavor. Oh, spiced down. You can also add lemon pepper, or I like the Green Harvest seasoning from Frontier. Don't worry about writing all these down. I'll put them all in the comments so that you have them all. So that's the next level, is adding spices to your existing dressings to kind of change up the flavor. You can also try, I like this Furikake seasoning. It's kind of like an umami, seaweedy, weird flavor. So it's not for everybody, but it's a nice change of pace. Now, if you want to change up the fats that you include in your dressing, remember I talked about a tablespoon of oil, 2 tablespoons of acid, pea of mustard, pea of garlic paste. You want to amend that a little bit, or maybe swap out the fat. Remember, you're watching calories, so you can't just go crazy with the fat. You have to account for it. You can use flavored olive oil, for example, lemon olive oil, or basil and garlic olive oil. I prefer olive oil for dressings. If you don't like the flavor of olive oil, like the flavor is too olivey, too strong, you can use avocado oil. There are really good avocado oils that like don't have that kind of flavor. Coconut oil doesn't really lend itself to a dressing unless it's like a hot dressing. And if I'm making a hot dressing, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm just gonna use bacon fat, because my favorite hot dressing is a bacon hot dressing with a spinach salad. You can Google it and find pretty much any recipe you want on that. Oh, my camera is tilting slowly but surely. hopefully that's fine. If you use mayonnaise, I gotta set this up. Sorry guys, that was a close one. My camera almost fell off the table. Okay, if you want to use mayonnaise, don't use too much because this packs a wallop. Just like any other fat, it's like 100 calories a teaspoon. So you want to be sparse with this. I find it's better if you just use the oil, emulsify it a little bit, or even amend it with Greek yogurt, which is, you know, Siggy's Icelandic is like my favorite. So Greek yogurt gives any dressing a little bit of creaminess without adding any fat and adding protein. So it's a really, really good thing to use in your dressings. Other things you can use in your dressings to give them texture. Also for fat, you can use an avocado. Start with a half of an avocado, mash it up, mix it all in there. You can usually get away with a half an avocado because it's a good fat. It's good for you and it's very filling. It'll add to that satiety. Tahini is another fat that you can add to your dressing. And then if you want to just sort of chunk your dressing out, like make it feel like it's got heft, you can use goat cheese to make it both creamy and chunky. It's not bad. I have a recipe where I use blue cheese. I don't like to mix any other kinds of cheeses and dressings because they sort of disappear when you do that. And I would much rather bite into a piece of cheese than have it kind of like it crumbled in a dressing. But to each their own. Like some people add Parmesan straight to the Bolthouse Caesar because it's not cheesy enough. It's kind of what you get for 40 calories though. Okay, so chunky things that you can add to your dressing to give it texture, to thicken it up. Tahini, also harissa, or this red pepper spread. I've mixed muffaletta, a spoonful of muffaletta filling into a dressing to give it like a little more weight. You can also buy pickled piquillo peppers and puree them, just blitz them in a blender, the same as the green chilies or the chipotle peppers. But you can also try capers or dill relish. I know this all sounds very weird. There's a lot going on here, but that's why it's called Frankenstein dressing, because I sort of just mix whatever tastes good, taste it. If it doesn't taste good, I'll be like, oh, what does it need? Does it need a little Worcestershire sauce? Yeah, it probably needs a little Worcestershire sauce. Does it need a little soy sauce? Soy sauce is a nice change from just adding salt to your dressing. It gives it a different flavor that you might not know you like unless you try it. Sriracha, always good. You can literally just add sriracha to Bolthouse Ranch, and then it's like sriracha ranch. And then also chopped red onion or shallot. That's another thing I like to add to dressings to give them weight, to give them heft. So, starting from the top, level 1, find a dressing you like. Try mixing it with another dressing. Level 2, try to make your own dressing from scratch. Use different vinegars, use different flavored oils. Try adding garlic, try leaving garlic out. Use different mustards, try stone ground, try Dijon. See what you like, whisk it together. I always like to say, Joe Dispenza says this a lot, in the information age, ignorance is a choice. Google salad dressings that are low carb and delicious. Somebody on the internet has also figured this out. I'm not the only person who looked in their fridge trying to eat a salad and didn't know what to put on it. So reach out to the internet. Level 3 is start adding spices to your dressing that are maybe something you haven't tried before. Try taco seasoning, try Old Bay. If you don't like it, take a tablespoon, put it in a thing, add a sprinkle, mix it around, see if you like the taste. If you don't, you haven't ruined the whole bowl of dressing. It's okay. You have to experiment to find what you like. And then after the spices, try adding some heft to your dressing. Try adding Greek yogurt or tahini or harissa or dill relish or capers or pureed green chilies with jalapenos or mixed up chipotle peppers. But let this be an adventure. And if you like, you can mix a little bit of your dressing in with some non-fat Greek yogurt or Siggy's Icelandic yogurt and have a dip for crudités. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. There's a whole world waiting out there beyond ranch, beyond low-fat ranch. So enjoy, and thanks.